In today's video, we are going to be talking about how I make money as a content creator, and I am going to be answering all of your questions. So keep on watching. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Flor and I post new videos every single week talking about working for yourself, talking about content creation, talking about planning and productivity, and talking about books. If you like what you're seeing, of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of every time I upload a new video every single week. Before diving deep into today's video, there are two things I wanted to mention. First of all, that it's raining a lot outside, so if you hear some kind of noise, it might be that. I'm sorry, it's just life and the weather, but we are going to film anyways. And if you hear someone snoring in the background, then that's my baby girl, my dog Oreo. So yeah, we have the rain and we have Oreo snoring and we're still doing this, and I promise this video is really good and really worth it, so keep on watching. So a couple of days ago I posted a video talking about how I make money as a content creator and what my 6 streams of income are. If you haven't watched that video, I recommend you go ahead and watch that one first. It will be linked up here and also down below in the description box. But before filming that video, I posted on my Instagram stories that I was going to be talking about this, and I wonder if you had any questions, and you sent in a lot of them. And while I answered some of them in this previous video, there were still a lot of unanswered questions, so we are going to be talking about them in today's video. First of all, the question that was asked the most by far is how I pay taxes as a content creator. In order to answer this question, I am going to be talking about my personal experience paying taxes as a content creator in the US and doing so as an individual. So first of all, I think the main difference with taxes in the US is the fact that you can pay taxes in your own name and as an individual without needing to register as a business or as a solopreneur, because you only need your name and your social security number and you can pay taxes, which I know is very different from other countries where you need to set up a business or you need to register in some kind of registry. So now the tool I use in order to calculate how much I should be paying of taxes is called QuickBooks. So QuickBooks has apps and also has a website where you can calculate and pay your taxes. So the specific app I use is called Self-Employed, and as the name suggests, it is for people that are self-employed. So once you have that app, you can use it to calculate the taxes you have to pay each quarter. And how do you do that? Well, of course, using the income you have and the expenses you have. First of all, you have to set up a profile and you have to set up your personal information. And once you do that, you can either enter manually every income and every expense you have for your business, or you can do that automatically by connecting all of your bank accounts and your credit card accounts. So I did this because for me it was easier. So once you connect your bank accounts and your credit cards, you can see all the transactions and you decide whether or not they are business or personal. So if you file them as business, either business income or business expenses, the app calculates how much money you should be paying in taxes. So they know how much money you're earning because you are saying how much income you have every month, and then you also have your expenses. And your expenses, you not only enter them into the app, but you also have to categorize them. So you need to say whether a certain expense is a travel expense. Let's say you booked an airplane ticket, or maybe you took an Uber, or maybe you bought a subway card, or they can be meals, for example. Let's say you went to Starbucks and got a coffee while you were working for your business, or maybe you went and had lunch with a client or with a colleague. And then maybe if you pay for, let's say, Photoshop or Lightroom or Final Cut Pro, all of that are also business expenses such as apps or services. So it is important to categorize the type of expense you have, because depending on the expense, it impacts your income and your taxes in a different way. I am not not a CPA, so I am not going to explain a lot about this, but this app was designed by people who know everything about this. So the good is that you don't need to really know the exact legislation for your business or be doing all the numbers for your business. You just put in all the incomes you have and all the expenses you have, and the app gives you the magic number of how much taxes you need to pay for that quarter. And that's important because if you are self-employed, you pay quarterly taxes, meaning every 3 months, and you have to pay those estimated taxes every quarter. And then at the end of the year, maybe if you are owed some money or if you owe the government some money, you have to pay that remaining. So I use this app to calculate my taxes, but once I know the exact number that I have to pay, then I go into the IRS side, which is the Internal Revenue Service, which is basically the organization in the US that controls everything about taxes. I am explaining this in case you don't live in the US. And I pay my taxes. You go to their site and there's a special page where you can go if you're self-employed, where there's a form and you enter the amount that you want to pay for your taxes for the quarter using your name, as I mentioned before, and your social security number. And then on the next year, when taxes are due, usually around the month of April, you can either log into QuickBooks and retrieve all this information, all this data about your income, about your expenses for the past year, and pay your taxes and do all the annual review on their site, or you can send all that information to your accountant if you work with a CPA. So that's up to you. I have used this app in the past and I love how easy it is, how you can understand everything going on, and how you can actually connect your accounts in order to make everything even easier. So yeah, that's it. That's the answer to the first question that was asked the most. Another question that was also asked a lot was, how do you put a price to your work? So I completely understand this question, and I also understand the struggle. To this day, I still find it difficult sometimes to put a price to my work. So if you're feeling like this, I got you. We're all feeling the same. But if you're just getting started or maybe charging for your work for the first time, I think there are a few things that you can consider in order to do so. First of all, if you're shooting photos or videos and you'll be needing someone else to help you with that, like a photographer or a videographer, you should consider their fee and make sure that the fee that the brand is paying you covers that fee. Another thing you can do is also take into account how much time, how many hours doing this type of job is going to take you, and you can calculate your fees depending on the amount of hours. Another great thing that you should consider is how much you'll be paying in taxes, and then being able to understand how much money you're actually going to earn from this job after paying taxes, which is also very important. Another great thing that you should consider is thinking about your happy price. And your happy price can change depending on the brand, depending on the assignment, depending on who you are, and many other factors. But it is basically the minimum amount of money, or maybe in some other cases, some other type of products or services or experiences that are going to make you happy in order to do this type of job. So your happy price when working with an airline, for example, might be a ticket, or maybe it might be a stay at a hotel if you're working with a hotel, or maybe if you're working with a fashion brand, it might be a certain fee that covers whatever you're going to be spending in order to shoot photos or videos, and maybe a bit more. So it really changes all the time and can depend on a lot of different things. You can also consider how much money the brand is offering you, how much money your colleagues, if you have other colleagues that you talk to regularly, are getting paid for the same type of work. You can also consider how much money you pay for your fixed expenses, for the things you need to be paying every single month to do your job, like a subscription to a certain app, or maybe rent for the office. And you can also consider your location, your years of experience, your education, and so much more. In short, there are no fixed formulas, so it just depends on you and the project you're taking. And then the third more popular question that was asked was how to organize your finances, how to organize your economy when you are a freelancer, when you're self-employed, and you don't get paid the same amount of money each month. So again, this is not easy, but it all comes down to having a plan. You should be able to write down all of the expenses that you have, whether that might be rent, services you pay for, utilities, or anything else that has has to do with yourself, with your business, and with the things you need in order to live and work. You should also write down any monthly regular incomes that you might have and the amount of money you earn for that. And then you need to be smart and save and invest the money you're earning, especially in months where you're earning more money than in other months. And of course, you need to watch your expenses and think about the things you really need in order to do your job and the things that you maybe might be able to pay sometimes, but not some other times. Last year, for example, was a very hard year, not only for me, but for most people. And in my case, what I did is that I canceled all subscriptions that I have, any apps or any services that I didn't consider essential to my job and to what I was doing. And I also didn't buy anything that I didn't think was really, really important and that I really, really needed. When you're working for yourself, you need to be really smart with your money. So I suggest you either write that down in paper or maybe use an app to help with your finances and your income and expenses, or maybe use some spreadsheet, Notion, or any app that you feel comfortable with. I hope all of this helps and answers all of the questions that you had. I also got some other questions as to where are the platforms or ways in which I think it's easier to make money or where you can make money faster, and whether or not I earn money through affiliate networks. And I have answered those questions in my previous video where I talk about my streams of income. So I suggest you go ahead and watch that. Remember that that video will be linked down below in the description box. If you have any other questions about this topic, about how influencers make money, how we pay taxes, or anything else, you can of course leave them down below in the comments, and I'll be happy to do another video answering those questions and talking more about this topic. I know this is always like a taboo topic, but I'm really happy to be shedding some light and sharing some of my insights. And as I always say, if you like this video, of course, don't forget to leave a comment, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. I will see you on the next one. Bye!